I do want to get into and go back a few days, go to Monday Night Football. Chiefs-Ravens was supposed to be the matchup of the year so far. Maybe the matchup of the year overall in the NFL. Chiefs, best team in the NFL. Ravens, one of the best teams in the NFL. The only real challenger so far that we thought coming into the season in the AFC would be the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson just won the MVP. The offense is high-flying. They are building on their defense. They just gave, in case you missed it, Marlon Humphrey, their all-pro cornerback. Basically a $100 million extension. They traded for Calais Campbell. They were really building their defense in order to compete with the Chiefs, try to slow them down. And how did that work out? As we know, the Chiefs rolled in that game. 34-20. Honestly, it wasn't even that close. They cruised in the first half. And now they continue to roll. Chiefs are 3-0. Going back to last year, their last loss, Kansas City, regular season or postseason, Week 10, in Mahomes' first game back from injury, they lost to the Titans 35-32. So they've rattled off, including the playoffs, 12 wins in a row. They are rolling. They're the best team in football by far. And watching that game Monday night, an epiphany popped in my head, or a comparison, I should say, popped in my head. Watching the Chiefs throw touchdown passes to their fullback. Watching the Chiefs throw touchdown passes to their left tackle. Watching the Chiefs throw touchdown passes to their fourth option at wide receiver. It dawned on me. You know what the Chiefs are? They are the NFL's version of the Warriors. They are the NFL's version of the Golden State Warriors for a few reasons why. They have a ton of similarities. Number one, plethora of weapons. You have Patrick Mahomes. You can call Steph Curry. You have Travis Kelce. You have Tyreek Hill. You have Mecole Hardman, a burner as the fourth option at receiver. You have Sammy Watkins, a former number one pick, now relegated to the second, third, fourth receiver role. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the first-round pick at running back. You have so many weapons, defenses just can't cover everybody. You want to take away Travis Kelce? No problem. Boom, there's Tyreek Hill deep. You want to take away Tyreek Hill deep? Boom, you have Travis Kelce in the middle. Or you have Sammy Watkins beating your third-string cornerback. You have Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield against a linebacker or a safety just running by him. It is impossible for a defense to cover them all. And guess what? If you do the impossible, if you play really good pass defense, and there were plays last week where the Ravens did. They had everyone covered. They fooled Mahomes. But guess what he does? You want to drop 8 in coverage? You want to take away at the same time Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Take away all those 5 options? Guess what you don't account for? Guess who then burns you with his legs? Patrick Mahomes. Ran for a TD on Monday night. Averaged 6.5 yards per carry. Ran for a few first downs. Extends plays with his legs. So it's not only impossible to cover everybody, it's impossible to cover everybody and then also keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket to prevent him from still running and getting a first down. So the weapons are so similar because what do the Warriors have? It's the same thing. You want to try to take away Steph Curry? Okay, boom. You'll give Klay Thompson open looks from 3. Good luck. When Kevin Durant came, that's game over. And it allows players like Andre Iguodala. It allows players like Maurice Spates. Even JaVale McGee. Because you have your defense deployed in so many other options. You're worried about stretching them so thin because there's so many different players out there that can burn you. That even marginal players now start to dominate because they're just having mismatch after mismatch and almost being forgotten about. So you can focus all you want on Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Mecole Hardman, as you see, can run by anyone in the secondary. Sammy Watkins is still a bona fide great wide, well, not great, he's a very solid wide receiver. I take that back. He's a solid wide receiver. And if he's your third or fourth option, your team is going to be impossible to stop. And again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is tough between the tackles. And if you're out in space, good luck. So plethora. So many options, so many weapons to try to stop. And because of that, similar to the Warriors, it's impossible offensively to keep up with the Chiefs. That's the one thing that really stood out to me watching this game where that comparison really clicked is watching them in that second quarter, the Chiefs just explode on offense. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown. It's like, whoa, how did this league blow off some balloon to the way it is? They score in bunches similar to what the Warriors do. If you have them down, In the first half and halftime, even in the third quarter, no problem. Because guess what? When they go on that run, that's it. That inevitable run that you know is coming that you can't stop. It's over. 24-0 in the playoffs, no problem. They score 51 points against the Texans. Down 10 minutes left, down 10 points with 7 minutes left in the Super Bowl, no problem. Here comes Patrick Mahomes making big play after big play. Just 2 weeks ago, they were down 11 to the Chargers. The Chargers, especially their defensive line, was working the Chiefs, slowing them down. They had 9 points going into the second half, late in the third quarter. Down 11, no problem. Patrick Mahomes, bang, bang, boom. Tie the game, overtime, they win the game. So their offense is so deadly because they can score in bunches that they either turn games into blowouts real quick or they can erase deficits just like that. Again, ask the Texans. They're up 24-0 on the road in the playoffs. When do you ever, first of all, not even see a 24-0 comeback, when do you ever feel unsafe about a 24-0 lead? But you're just waiting. Watching that game, you were waiting. You knew, okay, there's no way you can keep the Chiefs' offense down this long. And what happened? 51 points happened. A total explosion. So they have a million weapons you got to account for. Because they're so talented, you can't score at them. And they score in bunches similar to the Warriors. That to me is really the main comparison. They score in bunches and they just turn games into blowouts quick. And they erase deficits at the snap of a finger. And you know what now also the Chiefs are starting to do? That the Warriors really started to get hated for? Because when the Warriors started coming up, they were the fun team. They win their first title. Steph and Clay are super young. They beat LeBron James. It was a great story. The next year they win 73 games, take the league by storm, and what happened? They started getting cocky. They started showboating. You had the shimmy start with Steph Curry. And they slowly, even that year, started to turn into the villain, which led a lot of people to root for LeBron James, a lot of people to root for the Cavaliers that series, that finals. So the Warriors are so good in their heyday that they honestly, even in big games, would toy with you. They would make some insane plays. They would go for the highlight reel plays because they know if they don't get it, if it's a turnover or it's a missed easy bucket, it's no problem. We're still so much better than this other team. Even if they're playing a good team in the West, we're so much better than this other team. They can't keep up with us. We're allowed to make errors because we will make it up later. And now, watching this Chiefs against the Ravens game on Monday night, the Chiefs were just toying with the Ravens. Again, they threw a touchdown pass to their fullback, Anthony Sherman. A little fullback screen by the goal line. Beautifully designed by Andy Reid, by the way. But they're throwing fullback screens. They threw a touchdown pass to their left tackle, Eric Fisher. That's how good things are going. That's how you know Andy Reid is cooking, and that's how you know this team is not bored, but they're trying to keep it spicy. They're trying to keep it exciting. Because when you have all those weapons, if you know it's going to be a tough game, especially against the Ravens, when you're that confident and you're that much better than this team, when you know in your head, we're going to win this game no matter what, that frees you up to put plays in to throw touchdown passes to your left tackle. I just went through all the weapons they have. They don't need to be throwing passes to the left tackle for touchdowns. But guess what? They're doing it just because they can. This was supposed to be their toughest test in the AFC going to the Super Bowl. This was supposed to be the matchup. We thought, okay, if Lamar Jackson and the Ravens can figure it out in the playoffs, this is going to be the team that can put up the biggest fight against the Chiefs. Prevent them from owning the AFC just like the Patriots did for 2 decades. I understand there's no fans in the stands, but on Monday night on the road, they went to Baltimore and just toyed with them, had fun, took chances because they realized, guess what? If we throw a touchdown pass or we try and this touchdown pass to Eric Fisher doesn't work, or a fullback screen to Anthony Sherman doesn't work, it's okay. We're still going to win this game. It's no problem at all. We will still dominate. That is why, to me, this team is so reminiscent of the Warriors. And just like the Warriors, we are still in this honeymoon phase with the Chiefs. Early on, watching Steph do the shimmy was cute. Watching him play with his mouthpiece was cute. It was harmless. They started getting more cocky, started really letting you know just how good they were. Obviously, once they got Kevin Durant, it really went overboard. but all of a sudden the Warriors turned into the villains. All of a sudden now, the excuse for NBA ratings was that the Warriors are too good. We already know who's going to win. For whatever reason, there's still doubt the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl this year. I don't know why. They returned again 18 of 22 starters, and some people are acting like that's not a big deal. That's a huge deal. When you're returning essentially your whole team and they're only getting better, more cohesion, in a year where there's no offseason training camp is short, so those teams that stay together, that have that synergy with the GM, with the head coach, with the quarterback, where the offense is the same, or a lot of the defensive pieces are the same, you have a massive advantage over a lot of teams that are transitioning to new head coaches, transitioning to new quarterbacks, trying to build a brand new system in when all your meetings can be over Zoom. There's no thought and there's no reason to think the Chiefs won't get back to the Super Bowl. So pretty soon, the Chiefs are going to be like the Warriors in terms of just how dominant they are and how impossible it is to stop them. Where it's almost going to be not even fun because, all right, no team can really put up a fight. And not to mention, they're going to turn into the Patriots because everyone's going to soon start rooting for them. This is going to happen sooner than we think. So I truly believe the Chiefs are going to be a dynasty. They're going to be here to stay. They'll be going to a ton of Super Bowls. And they will be like the Patriots. We will now be the team that the Chiefs will take over the mantle for the Patriots, be the team we all hate, be the team we root against. So sure, maybe they're more likable than Bill Belichick. Maybe they don't cheat as much as the Patriots. But what happened with the Warriors? Steph is likable. Clay is likable. Steve Kerr is likable. We hated the Warriors. We hated the Warriors. They were too good. Now it turned into rooting for the Cavaliers. Obviously, this past year, just the debacle that happened with injuries and obviously Kevin Durant leaving, and they had one of the worst years. That worked out to getting a top pick. We hated the Warriors. We loved seeing them struggle. We loved seeing LeBron come back from 3-1. We rooted for the Rockets in those series where you really hoped and prayed the Rockets had a chance. No, deep down they didn't, but hey, crazier things have happened. The Chiefs will be a hated team in the NFL very soon. They will be a dynasty. They're going to get back to the Super Bowl this year. They might as well win it. They may as well win it. But enjoy the Chiefs now. Because I am. Enjoy watching Patrick Mahomes. Enjoy watching this dazzling performance by the Chiefs week in and week out. Enjoy the creative play calling by Andy Reid. Throwing touchdowns to left tackles. Throwing touchdowns to fullbacks. Despite having a massive complement of weapons available. Because we are all going to hate this team very soon. I promise you. As soon as maybe this offseason, if they win another Super Bowl. We love building players up. We love building teams up. The little team that could. Don't forget, the Warriors were in the same boat as the Chiefs. The little team that could. Tons of postseason failures, tons of bad seasons, tons of heartbreak for those Golden State Warriors fans, but they were loyal. They kept going to Oracle. They sold out arenas even when they were bad. Same thing that happened to Arrowhead. Those Chiefs fans are loyal. They are diehard. They've been through so much heartbreak through their years, especially in the playoffs. They keep on coming back. And now they're getting rewarded for it. So good for them. But don't forget now. Don't forget why we hated the Warriors. Don't forget how that quickly turned from this cute, lovable, fun, exciting team to this dynasty that we hated. To this dynasty where we couldn't wait to knock them off. Anytime we can ding them, anytime we could try to knock them off their pedestal, we tried. We tried. And that's going to happen with the Chiefs. So mark it down now. If you like watching the Chiefs, that's okay. Enjoy watching them now. Enjoy it. Because we said the same thing about the Patriots when their dynasty first started with Tom Brady. We said the same thing about the Warriors when their dynasty started with Steph and Clay. We were saying the same, and we will say the same thing right now about the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.